Tune into the Salsa Kings Network. Crack one open if you dare, creeps.
Hey, it's me, the Quenchies. I'm that late afternoon craving you just can't shake. Wait, what's that? Welch's Grape Aid? No! Made with real fruit and no added sugar, nothing answers the call of the Quenchies like Grape Aid. Got the Quenchies? Grab a Grape Aid in your juice aisle.
It'll be dark soon. I think it would be wise for you to leave Sunnydale.
I'm not going anywhere. Not until those bastards undo whatever they did to me. Put me back the way I was.
Sure. Just explain to the nice scientist guys that you really miss killing and torturing innocent people.
You think that would work?
Spike, Lord knows why I'm telling you this. It's for your own good. As long as the initiative is in operation, it's not safe for you here.
No. It's not safe for any of us.
And welcome to yet another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I'm Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
And today we're talking about Season 4, Episode 13, titled The Eye in Team. Directed by James A. Contner, written by David Fury, original air date February 8th, 2000, to an audience of 4.83 million people. Quite a steep drop-off in viewership. Yeah. Holy guacamole. But there's a lot of stuff going on in this episode, Vance. This really ratcheted the story up pretty quickly, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know why the numbers are so low. It seems like this would be a big episode.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of I think they might have speed run some of the stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like I feel like they could have let some of the story beats in this one episode breathe for about 3 or 4, but they get it all in. They get all of their shit in.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, let's get through this. You know that, yeah.
But speaking of getting our shit in, guess what, everybody?
Phrasing.
We got a freaking shout out, special shout out of the day. We have one of our Apple Podcast review shout outs. It is from I'm About to Start Snoring, but they've identified themselves as Discord user shout out.
It's amazing to have inspired someone's Discord name and then have them refer to the Discord name to get a shout out.
It's getting very self-referential. It's getting real meta in here with the shout outs.
I'm going to write a review just so that you can shout me out.
Do it.
Hey, this is Vance from the podcast.
But thank you, shout out, for your kind words in the 5-star review. I really appreciate it. If you want to get your own little shout out, you got to give us a review on Apple Podcasts. Rate and review, baby. And that's how it gets done.
And they can also, screen grab that they gave a star rating, a 5-star rating on Spotify and send it to @JoeWelke.
Yep,
and
my
those
Instagram.
Screenshots, if you want to shout
I've
out.
I've only gotten one of those from Elias, our favorite, amazing Discord moderator. Also, sign up for the Discord.
It's a fun time, and there's going to be
a lot livelier.
It's going to be a lot to talk about after this one.
Yeah. But with that out of the way, I don't think there's any more announcements at the top here, Vance. Do we have anything?
No. Actually, you know what?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. For the exclusive Patreon people, we are going to be doing. I think it'll be the Thursday after this comes out. You can listen to me, Joe, and special guest Johnny Walsh doing The Craft.
Yep, we watched The Craft. We did a review of The Craft, and it is a long and in-depth review, everybody. It's an hour longer than the actual movie.
Yeah, we dive into that movie, and we go through everything.
Yeah.
And it was a fun time. Great to have Johnny back. And I think if you're a Patreon exclusive listener, you're going to enjoy it. And if you're not, why aren't you? Get in there.
Get in there. And the Boys Watching Movies tier, everybody. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Yeah. And without further ado, let's get into the Iron Team here. So this episode opens up with a recap of basically everything that's happened in season 4. Like, it doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason to any of the stuff that's going on. It's just everything that's happened so far.
Yeah, I was like, all right, I got it. I'm good.
Yeah.
But, these are weekly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're watching it weekly, but like back then it was just like so much real life stuff that you couldn't keep up with TV.
Yeah, and you also had to keep track of all your other TV shows that you were watching weekly.
TV Guide.
So it was tougher to keep track of it all.
Yeah.
But we got a recap of everything that's happened, and the episode opens up with Willow invoking the spirit of Nisa. She's trying to cast the spell. And we zoom out to reveal that she is playing poker with Anya and Xander. And Xander's like, hey, you can't invoke spirits to cheat at poker. And Willow's like, oh, man, come on. Why can't I do it?
Yeah.
And Anya's like, I don't get this game. This game is stupid. Why are we playing this game? And Xander's starting an energy bar business. I don't know if he makes these energy bars or if he's just selling them.
He does not make and package those energy bars.
He's doing like Cutco knives, but with energy bar.
Yeah.
Was that like just in the East Coast? No. Cutco is like nationwide.
Yeah.
Did you know anyone that sold those?
I don't know if I talked about this on the Boys Watching Girls podcast we did, but I went to a job interview at one point thinking it was just for something else, and it was for like selling knives. And like those scissors that cut like pennies in half and stuff. And I'm sitting there like, what?
We definitely did talk about this.
And I was thinking, like, hey, do you want this? I was like, no. I like sat through the whole thing and left. And it was just
it's like a pyramid scheme. I did know one girl that like made a butt ton of money off of it. But
did she have friends that felt bad for her and family that paid for like selling it to your family members? Like, that's such a hard job. Door-to-door sales stuff was so crazy.
Apparently they're very good knives though. Like, I remember they had a girl that I knew in like high school did one of the demonstrations at my house, and my mom was like, okay, well, I'll do it. And like, it was more for practice. But I think she like cut a shoe in half or something.
Oh yeah, that was a knife. They have an It's Always Sunny where they do that shoe cutting in half thing with when Danny DeVito's character, when Frank is trying to get his business back up. Yeah.
But Xander's taking part in an energy bar business, and Anya's bad at playing poker, and they're all a little disappointed because Buffy was supposed to potentially join them, but instead she's out with Riley.
Buffy joining them would not have made it any more fun.
No, definitely wouldn't. They're in Xander's dank basement.
Yeah.
No music playing.
Yeah, like, yeah, it's they could go to the Bronze.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but they make some kind of reference to like, Buffy spanking some military guys, and Anya's like, "Oh, I enjoy getting spanked.
Yes.
I enjoy our spankings."
We've been enjoying spanking, and then like
Xander does 52 card pile-up or pickup.
He does a spit take with cards.
Yeah, exactly. But then it gets into the deeper conversation that we've all been waiting to have. Is Xander is a little suspicious of these initiative commando people. He's like, it's nice that Buffy is really excited about this Riley guy, but are we all just going to accept this initiative thing? Because it's a little, nobody's asked any questions about like what they're up to.
This was one of those things where I don't think the episode needs it, because it keeps planting the seed that the initiative is bad instead of just letting it happen. Like last episode, Giles was like, I like Riley, but you should take your time. I don't know about the initiative. We don't know a lot of stuff. And now the initiative has saved the world twice. Riley has saved the gentleman and the Hellmouth reopening. right?
Yeah.
So they've given you no pause.
Well, it's only Riley who's been doing
it is only
this.
Riley. True. But they've gotten
With
no
help
reason.
of the initiative.
Yeah, they've gotten no reason to not like the initiative just yet. Right?
Yeah.
Especially since their teacher is in charge of it. Who I think Willow likes too.
I think that Willow, like, she like kind of had her reputation precede her. Like, Willow's like, oh, she's such a genius or whatever.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, they say it and it's like, okay, watch out. And like, we know, obviously, from watching media and TV that they're going to be bad at some point. But everyone's saying it. It was just like, I get it, yes.
But they do, I don't know if Xander brings it up here, but they did get that kind of warning from Ethan Rain about like, hey, there's something called 314.
Willow brings that up later. And then Buffy's like, oh yeah, psycho chaos monster. Let's listen to everything he says. And I'm like, yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point.
That shouldn't be what makes them say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so then we cut to a scene of the Commandos and they're out in the woods with their taser guns and all that stuff. And they're tracking something and they all climb up this hill and then one of them just goes flying off the hill. And it's Buffy, and Buffy's beating them all up. She like takes them all out. She grabs one guy, she uses him as a shield as one of them is trying to tase her, and she beats them all up.
That guy should have died.
Yeah,
he got shot with like 20,000 volts.
Yeah, they mentioned like he was unconscious for like 3 days or something. But it's also like, how did Buffy not get shocked? She's
touching
holding
him.
the guy.
There's
a lot of inconsistencies happening in this show, which I'll bring up later on.
Okay.
But after she beats them all up, Professor Walsh comes out and she's like, time. All right. Wow, Buffy, they tracked you for like 45 minutes and it took you 28 seconds to take out my entire patrol team. That was crazy. That's quite a impressive thing. And Riley standing there next to Professor Walsh. She's like, I fucking told you, dude. She's the shit. Buffy's like, yeah, I am the shit. And Professor Walsh is like, very impressive, Buffy. All right, let's get everybody back to headquarters or whatever. And Riley's like, good job, babe.
And then Maggie Walsh is looking at like, I don't trust this girl.
Yeah.
Instead of like, this is a super soldier. Great.
Yeah. She's looking at it like, this could be bad.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But just don't fuck her over.
We're going to have to talk about Maggie Walsh's relationship with Riley, too, at some point.
Yes, we are. Yes, we absolutely are.
Do you think they banged?
I thought it was going to be revealed that she was like his mother or
they
something.
They look so similar in this framing here. I was like,
yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, that hasn't been revealed yet. But I was like, is this his mom?
Yeah.
This is going to be like his mom. By the end of the episode, especially, I was like, this is mom.
I feel like if it was his mom, they would have been like, hey, yeah, I'm from Iowa. I don't know my mom. I never met her. I think they would have set it up.
Yeah.
If it happens now, then it just seems dumb.
I thought it was going to happen at the end of this episode, but it didn't.
No.
But yeah, anyway, so then it's the next day. Buffy's talking to Willow about beating up all the Commandos, and she's like, oh yeah, freaking Professor Walsh was so impressed with me, like using that guy as a shield, and he got tased, and he's been in a coma for 3 days. It was sick, dude.
Yeah.
And Willow's like, cool, dude. Wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Willow's so coy in this episode. I hate it. But I understand it, but I hate it.
So Buffy's like, well, Willow, what did you get into last night? And she's like, oh, well, we were playing poker with Anya, but, you know, it's Anya, and I don't really like Anya. And Buffy's like, you might have to get over that because Anya seems to be, like, sticking around for a bit. And Willow's like, I know, but she's bad at poker, and she doesn't understand human interaction. So
not everyone could be a cool werewolf.
I know.
Willow.
But so Willow also reminds Buffy, like, hey, remember, you know, we got plans tonight, though. We're going to go to the Bronze, just all of us Scoobies. And Buffy's like, of course I remembered that. Of course. Willow's like, you didn't remember. And Buffy's like, how could I ever forget? I could never forget.
We haven't done this plot line 5 or 6 times already. Buffy, you didn't come to my party. I was fighting Helpies.
Yeah, we didn't just do this 2 episodes ago. But so then Riley shows up and he is looking for what to eat for breakfast for a good 7 minutes, it seems like. Just in the same stance.
Yo, when he reaches in to get an apple, he puts his whole body in there.
Yeah, it's crazy. And he's in there for a long time. And Buffy's like, oh, look at Riley. I'm just admiring, just looking at him. He's so cute. And then he picks up a Twinkie for breakfast. And Buffy's like, he's eating a Twinkie? No, not my man. You're not eating a Twinkie for breakfast.
He's going to get punished. And then Willow's like, everyone's getting spanked but me. Yeah. It's like, what?
Yeah, and Buffy's even like, excuse me? And Willow's like, nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm just the fifth wheel or whatever.
I thought the Twinkie thing made Buffy seem more like a mom.
Yeah, I was like, what is her problem with him eating a Twinkie?
And
He's an elite military guy.
And I'm like, Buffy, you don't have good eating habits.
Yeah. Buffy's not the paragon of health.
That's like an Anya thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I had an Anya question.
Okay.
Where does she live?
That is a great question. You really just stumped me, and I was like, I can't believe I never thought about that before.
I've been meaning to ask that question for a couple episodes now, and it was this was the one. I was like, where does she actually live?
And she obviously lives somewhere because she has changes of clothes.
Changes of clothes? She also goes away and comes back?
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Discord, where's Anya live?
That would be a major spoiler. She lives in a covenant of a demon.
Yeah. But speaking of people living places, Giles shows up to Spike's new crypt. Mm-hmm. Spike's living in the crypt from the last episode with Ethan Rayne, it looks like.
And I said he got captured by the Initiative after he crashed that car. But apparently the Initiative is not good at tracking loud car crashes. No wonder he couldn't find Buffy.
Dude, the effectiveness of the Initiative is so, it's amazing some days and terrible the other.
There's couple specifics in this episode that we'll get to that blow my mind.
Yeah, it's so insane. But so Spike's got a new crypt where Ethan Rayne was living, and Giles shows up and he's like, oh, nice crypt. And Spike's like, yeah, it's kind of a fixer-upper, but it's my new home. Anyway, what the hell are you doing here? And Giles is like, well, you saved my ass last episode. So I came to give you your money. Didn't he? So I came to, give you your money. I told you I'd give you $300, so here it is. Spike just rips it out of his hand. He's like, all right, thanks. Giles is like, you can count it if you want. And he's like, I'm going to.
It's the fakest looking money I've ever seen. Yeah. But I do like that Giles is paying up his I did not think that they would actually follow through with this whole thread, but I like it.
Yeah. I like it. It's an immediate hey, remember last time? All right. I'm a man of my word. Here's $300.
Yeah, we didn't get a flashback to that in the intro.
But so while Spike is counting the money, Giles is kind of leaving hints to Spike to be like, hey man, so you've figured out that you can't harm any living thing and that you can fight demons. Why don't you join our side? And Spike's like, I don't fucking like you. That's why I don't join your side.
Well, he doesn't even hear it because he's counting the money. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, you made me lose count. And Giles is like, come on, man. You have maybe you think you got chipped and all this stuff and now you can only fight demons. Do you ever think that might be your higher purpose at this point? You ever think that that's part of it? And Spike's like, nope, get out. Thanks for the money. Leave. I don't want to ever deal with you fucking assholes again. I hate you. You suck. Everything anytime I'm around you guys, bad shit happens. Mm-hmm. So get away from me. I don't want to deal with you. And Giles like, all right. Okay. I won't ever talk to you again, bud. See ya.
Yeah, he gives him a look like, I'm going to miss this guy who's tried to kill me multiple times.
And even when he literally can't kill me, he's just the worst person.
Yeah, this roommate, my old roommate.
This guy that I fucking hated being around. Yeah. Now I'm like, you should join up with us.
Giles is lonely.
Yeah, he really is.
Yeah.
He should start banging Willow.
Oh, God. We know there's fan fiction of that.
Oh, absolutely there is. There's got to be. There's fan fiction for everything.
I know, but why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we get Riley taking Buffy to the initiative base. She has her whole retinal scan and all this stuff. And they play it up as like a sex thing where Riley's like, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do this if you're not ready. And Buffy's like, I'm ready. And then he puts her into the mirror and they're like, retinal scan, Buffy Summers. And then he takes her into the elevator. They go down to the base and Buffy's like, oh my God, it's so big. I mean, you told me how big it was, but you didn't tell me it was this huge. And Riley's like, I don't like to brag.
And I was like, I'm done with this. We're good.
Yeah, that
we can
was
move
awful.
on. I was like, we can move on. So let's just get down to like, let's just get to the base and the initiative and let's get the tour going.
And so Buffy turns and she's like, giving the googly eyes to Riley, starts smooching, and Professor Walsh comes in. She's like, hey, welcome to the base. I hope you like how fucking big it is. I know I do.
She just grabs Riley by the crotch.
But she's like, here. Oh, what were you about to say?
I think about your thing where she gives the visitor pass.
Yeah, she gives her a visitor pass and like,
why?
What?
What secret military base has visitors?
Yeah.
There's no bring your kid to work day. Like,
yeah.
My gosh, that visitor pass thing was so dumb. I was like...
So Professor Walsh starts to give Buffy like a tour and gives her some sensitive materials about like, here's all of the stuff that we've been doing. And Buffy's like, great. I didn't realize I'd be getting a homework from you even off the clock. And Professor Walsh is like, you never take this home. This is sensitive documents. You never leave this room. Read it now and memorize all of it. And Buffy's like, damn, okay, sorry.
This is like working for Rockstar Games. I couldn't take anything.
So then during the tour, Professor Walsh shows her the, quote, pit, where they do a bunch of experiments on demons and monsters and vampires and stuff. And Buffy takes note of this, like, Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean looking demon.
Mm-hmm.
He's got tentacles on his face, and she's like, okay, you're doing experiments on people here. Okay.
I won't ask any questions right now. I'll just keep going.
Yep. This is our scientist, Dr. Forget his name.
Dr. Because he might play a major role. Dr. Engelman.
Dr. Engelman. They're doing science tests on like trying to figure out how to do behavior modifications like what they did to Spike, and Buffy almost spills the beans that she knows Spike because she's like, oh, I've seen your work in action. They're like, what? When? And she's like, oh,
why can't she?
National Geographic.
Why can't she say this?
Oh, dude.
Like, because can't she be like, hey, we fought in the hallway outside of my room that time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when you guys fought everybody?
Yeah.
Like, I think she would have at least told him that in private.
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
I don't understand why she's covering for Spike.
Like, is Riley still under the guise that Spike is Xander's friend from back in the day?
Yeah, like, it's not like they've been hanging out and, like, having meals with him or something, and he's like, oh, we're in too deep to tell a lie. Like, it's not like a rom-com. It's like, oh, she thinks of someone else. Like, just be like, oh, yeah, that one blonde vampire that you guys all know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So then Buffy's like, oh, what's this over here? Forget me almost spilling the beans. What's that? And Professor Walsh is like, oh, that's our armory. If you want to get weapons, you just need to check them out.
With training, too. Like, you need to be trained on them, which never happens.
And then she sees, like, year 2000's GoPro happening. There's, like, a comm cam, they call it. It's like a video camera with like a communications headset, and it's still in beta testing. It's about $20,000. Buffy put that down.
Yeah, it has a heartbeat sensor in it that most watches and phones and Fitbits have now. But like, remember Fitbit? Is that still around?
I mean, Fitbit's still a thing. I bought a Fitbit recently, and I sent it back because it kind of sucked, to be honest. I got spoiled by an Apple Watch, but Apple Watch's batteries suck so bad. They're terrible. Like, Fitbit could last like 3 or 4 days without a charge.
Yeah, but you don't have the interactivity that you have. You
know? But anyway. And I also had a Garmin watch for a bit. Still sucked. Not good.
I feel like that's more for if you're like a runner or something and keeping track and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got it for swimming.
Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, whatever. Wow, this is like the least interesting tangent we've ever been on.
Maybe.
But yeah, then Buffy is being shown going to be shown the containment area, and as Professor Walsh like walks past, like Riley's like, "Hey, are you really excited? Isn't this cool?" And Buffy's like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." Professor Walsh gives Buffy a pager and a security card too.
Buffy goes like, "Oh, a pager! I've been meaning to get one of these." She's had a pager before.
Yeah,
it's a major line in the earlier season.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "Page me." And it was like a weird, like, I think it's one of those weird, like, trivia things where it's like not a real moment or fake, or something happened in that moment. Anyway, she's had a pager before.
Yeah. And it's especially not that impressive because now we know that cell phones exist. Like, we see cell phones existing in another media. You might have to subscribe to a certain Patreon in order to hear all about that.
Yeah, well, Buffy's like in the middle of the woods. She gets a page. Well, the page is more doctor style, where you can get a page message and know where to go. You don't have to actually call again. Mm-hmm. Buffy is joining. Like, I was shocked that she's joining. I thought she was just getting a tour.
That's what I thought. But she's like, no, you're a member of the initiative now.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
Okay. I'd be like, wait, what is the initiative? Like, that question never comes up at the beginning. Yeah.
But yeah, Buffy looks like she's part of the initiative team now. So then we go to Willow and Tara, and they're ogling this crystal. It's called the doll's eye crystal. And Tara was like, yeah, I've had this. My mom had it. And Willow's like, I've been looking for it all my life. I mean, the last year and a half. And then Tara's like, well, if you're not doing anything tonight, why don't you come on over and we can have a bunch of spells stuff going on. We can practice our witchcraft. And Willow's like, oh, whoops, sorry, I already got plans. And then Tara looks like this is the worst news she's ever heard in her entire life.
Yeah, like, because I kind of know where they're going with the story with them, I kind of get it. But without that full context, it's like, why is everybody being so coy? She's like, I would invite you, but it's like, you know, a certain group and they might not like get along with you.
Yeah.
I was just like, invite her.
I don't know why it's also such a big deal to like not invite her. Just be like, oh, I'm sorry, I already got plans with like.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. It's not like you guys haven't been hanging out and she's been dodging you.
Yeah, it's not
like
the
one
end
night.
Of the world.
Yeah, it's like one night. Like, I got to do something tonight. Can we do it tomorrow? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Like,
yeah, and that's kind of what Willow does. She's like, oh, I mean, we can hang out another time. And Tara's like, oh, I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess.
I mean, I made all this pasta. Like, yes.
But like Willow has to like console her. Like,
it's
hey, we can do it enough. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But
like, it gets to a point where you think like Tara's going to do some like evil witchcraft to like get her to not go to a party or something. It's like weird.
Yeah. And it doesn't need to be that way.
No, not at all. Not at all.
But yeah, so there's that. Professor Walsh goes into her top secret research place, room 314. And she's with the scientist, Dr. Engelbert or whatever his name is, Engelman. And she's like, the scientist is like, hey, do you really think it's a good idea to be showing that Slayer around? And Professor Walsh is like, I don't know yet, but Riley likes her, so we'll give her a pass for a little bit. We'll have to see how it goes, but if anything happens, you know, we'll cut the cord really quick. And the scientist is like, all right, I'm just saying this could lead to bad news. And she's like, hey, why don't you shut the fuck up and show me what you're working on? And he's like, all right, well, here is what I've been working on. He's almost complete. And it pans down to this like Frankenstein mishmash of monster parts. And Professor Walsh is like, Adam, it's my baby boy, Adam. He's almost ready. And I was like, didn't we already do this?
Yes. Yes, we did. We had people in Sunnydale High School bring their brother back to life.
Yeah. We did this with the football guy.
Yeah.
And like, are we going to have to find a girlfriend for Adam now? Is Cordelia coming back?
The best thing ever would be if that one dude got away, the psycho that tried to kill Cordelia. to make a girlfriend out of all the cheerleaders if he was working in that room.
That would have been a great callback.
That would have been amazing.
They're like, yeah, we got our consultant, and that would have been a great fucking callback.
That would have been so good if he came back.
But no. Unless that is him, and we just don't recognize
it. It's not him. He did not age that much.
But yeah, as soon as I saw this, I was like, we already did this. Like,
is this
without the monster parts, obviously.
Well, I knew like their military, anytime they're in movies, they're always like, how can we weaponize the bad thing? How can we weaponize dinosaurs?
Yeah, dude. Dude, we gotta do Jurassic Worlds for the fucking
done so much. It's not worth it. If they come out with a new one in the next 10 years while we're doing this,
those movies are such bullshit, dude. It's hilarious. Like Jurassic Park, the first one is like my favorite movie of all time.
We don't have to go down this tangent. We've done it on the podcast too many times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're making a Frankenstein-like monster. It's almost complete. His name's Adam. Professor Walsh is in love with him, apparently.
She loves any guy that's around her, it seems like.
Yeah. So then we are at the Bronze. The gang's hanging out at the Bronze, and Anya is sad because Xander isn't paying her any attention. But Xander is on trying to hawk his fucking energy bars to people at the Bronze, and he only brought one, and he's eating it. And I was like, this is dumb. Like, what is this plot line?
Yeah, what is this? It doesn't really go anywhere.
They have nothing for Xander. They have nothing for this guy right now.
He's just trying to find his way in the world, doing odd jobs here and there.
I mean, he was a pizza boy last episode or whatever.
I kind of do like every episode he's got a different job.
It is kind of funny.
That. Yeah.
But, like, I was like, what is happening?
And he tells Anya, like, hey, I could sell these and I can make more money so I can buy new stuff and take you to nice places. She's like, oh, yeah, I'm homeless.
Like
this
that.
works.
I like that. Go sell more. And Xander's like, well, this is my only one and I'm eating it.
Yeah. He didn't say it was his only one left.
Yeah. I think he said he only brought one.
Yeah.
He's a bad businessman.
Yeah, he is.
Maybe being an entrepreneur is not for Xander.
No.
But Willow is sad now because Buffy said that she was coming, but she's an hour late. And she's sad. And Xander's sad. And then they're like, oh, wait a minute. Here comes Buffy. She didn't forget about us.
Why can't they have fun without Buffy?
I don't know.
Because Buffy's not like the glue that holds the fun together.
Yeah, and Buffy's not like fun. She's not like the party bringer, you know? She's just, anytime Buffy's around, she's like quippy and sarcastic about everything that they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, is that the energy we want to have?
Buffy has never made a joke that they all laughed at.
Yeah. Like, I don't think that we've ever seen them have fun as a collective.
We've seen them go to places and claim that they're having fun.
But like, there have been times where it's like one will be having fun, like one will be on the dance floor, like dancing up a storm, and then the other two are at a table, like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, like when one's dancing, it's usually like trauma dancing.
Yeah.
Like Buffy's like, I hate everything, I'm gonna sexy dance, and then Willow's like, I'm drunk and dancing because my man left. Like, they're never like, let's just have fun dancing. Like, maybe the prom was the closest.
Maybe. But that's when Xander was like bored with Anya because she keeps telling him about all the men that she's killed.
Mm. Yeah.
You know?
But Willow was happy.
At the end, they were all happy.
They were all happy.
Anya's like, this is nice.
Yeah. And they just left Buffy to kill Hell Beast by herself. Yeah. You're like, no, you got this. We're good. Thanks.
But, so yeah, Buffy shows up and Willow's like, oh no, here she comes. She didn't forget about us. But she comes with Riley and a bunch of the other Commandos. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yo.
Graham, who's the
lunkhead that I couldn't identify last time.
Yeah, Graham and Force are there. And Force just stands there like a robot when he shows up at the table.
I mean, they all kind of do. Like, Buffy shows up. She's like, hey, what's up? This is my entourage. This is who I roll with now. And everyone's like, okay. This is awkward as fuck.
If I was at the Bronze and I saw Buffy roll in with this many dudes, I would have snuck out the back door. Because I'm like, this is exactly how shit goes down.
Yeah, dude. Like,
they're all
anytime Buffy shows up anywhere, I'd be like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Or, Buffy, will you walk me home?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Buffy, if you're going to be here, will you walk me home? And then I'm leaving, and then you can take over the bronze.
Buffy would be rich if that was her, like, business. Just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Escort service, but, like, really escorting, not, like, sleeping with people.
Yeah. But, so it's awkward. Riley's like, I'm going to go get a drink. What can I get anybody anything? Buffy's like, I want a Coke. And then Riley's like, Anya? And Anya's like, because Anya doesn't like Riley and the initiative because she's a demon and they're demon hunters. Or she's an ex-demon.
She's not, like, she's fully, like, she doesn't have any demon qualities whatsoever anymore, I feel like.
Yeah. But she
Except for the
is
knowledge
wary of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's wary of them, and Willow tried to, like, calm her down earlier on in the episode.
Yeah.
But Anya's, like, trying to avoid eye contact with them, and Riley's like, you want anything, Willow? Willow's like, nope. You want anything, Xander? Xander's like, nope, I'm good. So all the commandos go to the bar to get drinks. And then Xander and Anya are like, we're leaving.
No, they go to dance.
They go to dance or whatever. I gotta say, I like Xander's Captain America sweater here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he's got the Captain America on, yeah.
Pretty decent.
Which is
like it.
Fun tie-in for the military people showing up.
Yeah.
You know?
So then it's just Buffy and Willow left at the table. And Buffy's like, yeah, this is my crew now. Isn't it great? I got all these freaking initiative commandos with me. And Willow's like, yeah, it's good stuff. I kind of thought that it was just going to be like us, like the old gang. They'll get the whole gang back together, the Scoobies. And Buffy's like, I mean, are you pissed off that I brought Riley and all these guys? And Willow was like, I mean, no, but I wish I would have known, because if you would have told us that you were bringing those guys, maybe there was someone that I wanted to invite too, if it was going to be like this huge party. And Buffy's like, who the hell would you have brought, Willow? And Willow's like, fucking nobody. It's a hypothetical. I'm not a lesbian.
Yeah, I'm like, you could just invite the girl out. We wouldn't have jumped to, like, you guys are sleeping together.
Yeah.
You also, like, that's the thing. They don't have they're like having the coyness of it, but not like, there's no implication for the other people to think that when they're like, oh, this is another witch I'm working with.
Yeah, like, I don't know why Willow's being so secretive about it. It makes no sense.
Like,
unless she's ashamed of it or something.
She's obviously ashamed of it.
But, like, I feel like in Willow's head, it's not even like a flirty thing with Tara. Like, for Tara, it's definitely like a crush. But I feel like Willow is a little naive about this still.
But she can't be, because she wouldn't be this coy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah.
We're not the best people to speak on this, but I just feel like the way they're doing it, it's just like,
it's weird.
I would love to see them around her, and then it'd be like, oh, this is awkward, and then Tara does something or says something about that, what they did, and then Willow's awkward about it because she doesn't want it to, like, feel like that.
Yeah.
But, like, her being like, I don't even want you to meet these people yet.
Yeah.
Like, especially even after, like, the first time. Like, even when she said, oh, where were you? Oh, I was doing witchcraft with the rose thing. She wouldn't even say who she was with.
Yeah, and it's like nothing's even happening between them yet. Like, I mean, there's a little spark maybe, like, but you could play it off like you're just friends for at least a little bit or something. I don't know. It's
like,
just a weird.
Here's the thing,
it's
like,
weird.
Would she have invited her if she could have? Because I don't think she would have, but she seems like
she definitely wouldn't have.
But she seems like she wants to be mad about that. I don't know. I mean, it's very. I guess it's very complicated for Willow, but I'm wondering for people watching the show when it originally happened, did they immediately get like Willow's going lesbian?
Yeah, I wonder that too. Yeah,
because there's nothing in the show besides that like offhanded comment when
there's like
Willow's
the
there.
sensual hand holding between her and Tara.
No, but I mean like for previous seasons of like her pining after Xander, her wanting
I think
her being with
vampire
Oz.
self is a lesbian.
Yeah, but like she's with guys like the whole time, and then you have that like vampire self has like lesbian tendencies or whatever, and then yeah. I mean, so they planted the seed for this, but if you're watching for 3 seasons and you kind of miss that one episode, like, you're just like,
or don't remember that,
since it happened,
because that was like 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, man, but yeah, I guess it. I've never had to come out or have mixed, like, weird feelings, like, oh, am I gay or anything? So I don't know what the awkwardness is about, but this just feels like she's covering something up that she doesn't need to.
Which is fine, but it's like the way the show's doing it seems. I think it's more show narrative doing it than like realistic reactions to it for me, I guess.
Yeah. I'm with you. But anyway, so Buffy then reveals like, hey, I joined the initiative. And Willow's like, you just straight up joined them? Like, you're a part of it now?
Yeah.
And Buffy's like, yeah, dude, I got a pass and a pager and everything.
Yeah, I just wanted a new job. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. And Willow's like, Buffy, don't you think you're like rushing into this a little bit? And Buffy's like, what? Why? I really like Riley. And Willow's like, I'm not talking about Riley. Riley's great. We like Riley. No matter how boring and awful he is. I'm talking about the initiative. This initiative thing, like, we don't know what their higher purpose is. We don't know anything about them. Like, sure, you got a tour of them, but like, don't you know that big government military operations that operate in secret probably have some more secrets that you should probably be aware of? And Buffy's like, nah. And then like all of their pagers go off at the same time, and all of them look down at their pagers like exacerbated. Like, they're just like, it's so obvious and weird.
That moment was so weird. Like, you're supposed to be undercover, and then the whole group just goes, oh, pagers up, let's go. I'm like, so what are you guys, drug dealers, or what are you guys into? Like, is this like a med school, like, testing course? Like,
right? I mean, it's like they all go off at the same time. They all rocket their heads down.
Yeah.
Click it. All look up, and then the whole gang
soldiers
just
on
like
me. Yeah, like
they all like go to Buffy, and they're like, we gotta go. And Buffy's like, sorry, deuces, Willow. Tell me about your lesbianism later.
Yeah. And I'm like, Buffy, you just signed up for more like watchership. Like, they don't even play that up. Like, you just got out from being under the Watchers who tell you what to do, and then you met a boy, and now you're just like joining another like Watcher group. And they don't even play that like, hey, don't you want to be independent and not have people tell you what to do? You're literally getting a page and getting up and running.
Yeah.
To sit in a meeting.
Exactly. Dude, in this meeting.
Yeah.
So they go down to the initiative base, and everybody's got on their like camo military gear except for Buffy, who's wearing like a bright orange halter top.
Yeah.
Which is not even a halter top, is it?
I don't know. She said halter top, and I was like, sure. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not the fashion expert.
I mean, I don't know what the exact definition is, but I don't think that this shirt is a halter top. But anyway.
It should be if she says it.
It should be, but
it'd be weird. Like, they could just change that line on the set.
They absolutely could. Like, I don't know if like, but if Buffy like really knows what a halter top. I guess it is a halter top. I guess.
I feel like
it's a halter top.
It's a little bit of a stretch for her to say like, I've done it in these overalls, and you see her, she's wearing a turtleneck. It's like,
but so they're given the lowdown on like this demon that they've started tracking. It's a Polgara demon or whatever, and they're like, the scientist guy is at the front. He's like, this demon is very dangerous. It has weapons that protrude out of its arms, and this is the mission. We need to tag and bag this guy. You can kill it, you can do whatever, paralyze it, but just don't damage the arms. And Buffy raises her hand, and she's like, why can't we damage the arms? And the guy's like, what? And she's like, I mean, if there's a fucking thing that's trying to kill me, I'm going to damage what I need to damage in order to save my life. So if it just so happens that the arms are going to get damaged, tough shit, dude. Like, I'm going to damage the arms if it's my life or the arms. And the guy's like, yeah, but these are very valuable arms that we need to do research on. So I'd really appreciate it if you didn't damage the arms. And Buffy's like, but why do you want to do that? Like, and then she just keeps asking questions.
Well, she asks, she's like, what does it want? And I'm like, I don't know. She's like, well, usually if we find out what it wants or why it's here, then we can use that against it. You know, it helps.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, it's just, no,
it's just
that's not.
Fuck shit up. I don't know.
It's just standing in the middle of the woods and we're going to go get it. I don't even know why Buffy needs to be a part of this. They got like, they've sent less people out for more big things.
Yes.
Like, there's 4 teams. There's like 20 people sweeping the forest for this thing.
Yeah, and then so like after the scientist is like, who is this fucking girl asking all these questions? Like,
that's not how military do.
Yeah, Professor Walsh is like, hey, we're done with the questions, all right? We're gonna, this is the mission. You get the demon, you capture, don't kill it. That's the mission. Zap and trap. And then she like ends her speech with like, any questions? And then Buffy's like, yeah, actually. And she's like, oh God. And I love this.
Yeah.
Because Buffy she kind of does do this with like Giles, and Giles usually has the information.
Yes. And he also gets frustrated when she makes a little weird, quippy teenage stuff, which she hasn't been doing anymore since she's an adult now.
Yeah.
Because she's had 6.
Yeah.
She's in college.
In college. She's a new person. She's living on her own. She's not under Joyce's thumb anymore. Yeah. But so yeah, they're off Joyce on their mission. Yeah, I know. I miss her too.
Yeah. I can't wait for her to come back for something.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, you want to be a marketer. It's easy. You just have to score a ton of leads and figure out a way to turn them all into customers. Plus, manage a dozen channels, write a million blogs, and launch 100 campaigns all at once. When that's done, simply make your socials go viral and bring in record profits. No sweat. Okay, fine. It's a lot of sweat. But with HubSpot's AI-powered marketing tools, launching benchmark-breaking campaigns is easier than ever. Get started at HubSpot.com/marketers.
So then Willow shows up to Tara's dorm to hang out, and it's just like the most coy conversation you've ever heard. Everyone's stuttering and like, hey, like I thought that I was going to be hanging out with my friends, but it turns out my friends made other plans without me. Did you still want to hang out, Tara? And Tara's like, yeah, it'd be really cool if you came in and hung out and let's do some quote unquote spells, Willow. That'd be really cool. And Willow's like, all right, I'll come in. It'd be cool. Tara's like, yeah, come on in. Closes the door.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I feel like she doesn't have to be, I don't know. Yeah.
It's just their manner of speaking bothers me at this point.
I wish Tara would have given her a little bit more grief, like a little edge, like, oh, your friend's bailed and now you want to come over? But Tara's like, oh, thank you, come in.
Cool, yeah, it's awesome to be second fiddle. I love it.
Yeah, and I have my own room. I don't have a roommate, so come on in.
Yeah.
She must be an RA. She must be an RA.
Oh, yeah. She must have like used her witchcraft to get her roommate to leave. Like Kathy and Buffy.
Yeah.
So Buffy's out on patrol and she's with Riley, and Buffy's like, so like, what's the deal? Like, did I fuck something up in that meeting? Like, it seemed like Professor Walsh was pretty pissed off at me. And Riley's like, I don't think she's pissed off, but she's just not used to being questioned is the thing. Like in the military, you just follow orders. And Buffy's like, but why the fuck would we do that? Like, I want to know why we're doing this shit. Like, I'm not just going to follow orders. And Riley's like, that's kind of what we do here. Mm-hmm. And then we go to Forrest. And Forrest is with his like little commando unit.
Before that, it's like she keeps talking and he's like, hey, can we not like keep bantering? I don't have the reflexes that you do. So I need to be on alert. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then she keeps talking. Because when she patrols, she's just like, she'll just be walking with Willow, shooting the shit, stab a vampire, keep talking. Like,
I did like the distinction of like Riley being like, hey, dude, I'm just a regular guy. And I need to be on alert. I can't deal with your like mommy issues right now.
And I loved when they saw the armory. And I was like, Buffy will never use any of those weapons. They don't. They're like, oh, what are we fighting? A demon with swords? I'm going to just punch it. Like, they don't bring weapons to anything.
Yeah, the most weapon that she brought was she put on a coat.
Yeah. Like, demons have magical powers. They can, like, force push you. Like, they can shoot laser beams and shit. And she's like, nah.
Yeah.
I got a silver letter opener last episode. I'm good.
Yeah. So then we go over to Forrest and his command unit, and he's pissed because he's like, I can't believe it. Can't believe I'm seconding. I was Riley's second in command for forever, and now that he's dating this chick, she's second in command. And it's like, I think it's Graham that's with him. Yeah. He's like, I mean, maybe he just wanted you to be in control of your own unit. Like, this seems like a like promotion.
Step up. Dude, I was losing my mind. I was like, dude, you have your own team now. Yeah. Like, are you in love with Riley? And then he becomes super sexy. He's like, oh, because she's a girl. I'll give you 3 guesses what he's thinking with. And I'm like, dude, it's fine. Like, you didn't think the first mission he went out on, he would have her with him? Mm-hmm. Like, I know they want to build more, like, tension for later stuff between the two of them or whatever, but him being bumped to the front of the team seems like a bad way for...
Yeah, like, he gets a promotion. He's like, fuck, I'm not on Riley's team anymore.
Yeah. I was like,
we were bros and now he's with his hoe.
He just wants to be Goose forever.
Yeah.
He never wants to be Mav. Yeah.
But while he's out there bitching about this, he's got his binoculars out and he spots Spike out in the wild, who's just coming home from grocery shopping.
Walking so happily. He's like skipping through the woods.
Dude, and like what? Like, I keep having to ask, like, what? Who is always walking through the, like, there's so many people always just walking through the woods. Like, nobody sticks to streets.
I mean, he's going to his crypt, and I guess he would walk through the, I don't know. Like,
yeah, I guess he wants to stay hidden or whatever, but I don't know. But
he's like jauntily walking. And here's the thing. Forrest sees him and goes, oh, we found specimen whatever, or
17, yeah.
So he knew him on sight.
Yeah, and Riley didn't. And Riley's the top dog.
Yeah, it's not like the coat. Was it the coat that gave it away only? Because this guy looks specific. There is no one in Sunnydale with bleach blonde hair like this.
Yeah. But freaking what's his name? Forrest is like, oh, it's our lucky day. Let's go get him, boys. And so 2 of the Commandos go over to Spike. And this is where I get pissed. Mm-hmm. So they start fighting Spike. Spike tosses one into a tree, throws his groceries at the other one, and runs off. Now,
he has a moment where he stumbles a little bit, like he had a little brain pain.
I think that was just because of the force of throwing.
Yes, I know. I'm like giving him a benefit of the doubt, but
I wrote in my notes in all caps, he can hurt things that are living.
Yes.
This is
what, like, he couldn't hit Xander because it gave him pain just the thought of hitting Xander.
Yeah, like he was about to like hit him with a wrench or whatever, and he's got a migraine.
Yeah.
But he tossed a guy into a tree and then chucked groceries at the other one, and it obviously hurt the 2 of them.
Yes.
Like, bullshit.
Yeah. And then they shoot him.
Yeah.
With the tracker.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it takes them 2 weeks to track him down, and he has gone nowhere.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. You would have been better if you just literally just chased him on foot. There's no way he's faster than you guys.
Yeah. But, you know, whatever.
Maybe vampires can run forever because they don't have to breathe.
That would be something.
And they don't and they can't drown, right? Can they hide underwater forever?
Yeah, I guess, because fucking what's his face, Angel didn't have breath. Like, Buffy mentioned that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I don't ever get. Like, when they put other vampires in headlocks and stuff, you know,
choke them out.
Yeah.
I mean, in this Angel episode we got coming up, there's another thing that you have to think about too. But yeah. But anyway, so then Riley gets a call about Spike. He gets on his walkie-talkie and he's like, hey, we caught specimen 17. He was just out there in the wild. I know it's this little side mission, but, you know, we got this. And then as he's getting that call, he gets attacked by the Polgara demon. It seems like Buffy's not about to say, watch out, you're about to get stabbed from behind.
Yeah.
In this moment.
But so then they start fighting together. And now this is the weirdest montage that I've ever seen.
I mean, I really am curious how this played when it first aired.
Yeah. So, Buffy and Riley are fighting the demon. And then it's intercut with them fucking. And then it goes back to them fighting the demon. Then it goes back to them banging. Then it goes back to them fighting the demon. And I don't know if you noticed this, but the bed sheets on the bed change. Like in the start of this montage, they're striped. Like when he lays Buffy down, like the pillows are striped. And then at the end of it, it's just all red.
Oh, you mean later when they're together?
No, in this same scene.
No, but I'm saying because it ends and they're in bed together and they actually are having sex. But I think that could be a second day and the flashback
different bedroom?
No. I mean, you could change sheets.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like the sheets change. I assumed that this was all supposed to be like, because after they.
Well, I thought when they were fighting, it was like a flashback of like one. It's just weird. It doesn't really work, and it's unnecessary because
when
they
cut
cut back,
music that's playing too is weird as hell.
And when they cut to the fight, it's not like they're fighting. Like like when Faith and Buffy go to fight vampires together, and they're like, "Yeah, we're buddies." Like if it was like them fighting, and then them like drinking sodas and partying at the mall, and then like kill a vampire, party at the mall, kill a vampire, laughing at a movie, like that kind of thing. If they did that, that's like, oh, we get it. They're bonding and killing vampires together. They're fighting a monster together for what is the third time in like 3 episodes. And for some reason, when they're fighting this monster, there's no sexual energy while they're fighting the monster.
No.
And then at the end, they're like turned on. But like, there's nothing like where she punches it and then he turns it, he punches it, and they look at each other like, this is why we're together. So it's like, doesn't make sense.
Like they both punch it and their hands touch while they're punching it. And then they look at each other like, oh.
Like, I feel like they had more moments with the gentleman when they were fighting where they could have, where that could have turned. But this monster and them, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, this is the most awkward sex scene in this show so far,
like,
I think.
He's taking off her boot. She's kissing his chest. She loves the chest kiss. Huh? No spoilers, just a chest kiss. Yeah. But yeah,
after they tag and bag the demon, she turns to Riley and she's like, "So what do you want to do next?" And I didn't read Riley as like horny at this point.
None of them were. He was like fighting for his life.
But yeah, then we go back to them banging in the red sheet room now.
Okay.
And then we have a like security camera view of it, and it pans out. And Professor Walsh is sitting there watching Riley and Buffy bang. And she's got like this very stern look on her face. What the fuck is happening?
My favorite part of this is that it's not like in an office. It's in that TV section that's like open to the whole room.
Yes, dude.
It's not like she's at home watching this on like a little monitor. She's like in the middle of this white room.
This is in room 314. She's just at a desk out in the open, just like sternly watching Riley fuck Buffy.
What the fuck, man?
Does Riley know that those are in there?
Well, that's what I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like Riley might be a part of something that's bringing Buffy into the initiative now. Which wouldn't have made any sense for how we found out. But I was like, what is Maggie Walsh up to?
Yeah. Like, that was so weird.
Maggie Walsh, you do not have to get a camera in their room to know that the two of them are having sex.
But, like, it seems like she has cameras in every one of her soldiers' rooms, it looks like.
Yes. Which is real weird.
Yes.
Like, what are you looking for? You're expecting one of them to take home a mermaid demon and have sex with it, and you're like, gotta get rid of them? Like, what could you possibly gather from that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so bizarre. And I just need to know, like, did they know that was going to be in there, or is this secret? They can't know.
They don't know. It's no way Riley knows.
Yeah. Yeah, Riley's such a fucking golden retriever. There's no way.
I mean, that's like most like military. I mean, like, just like, that's how military works. They, like, you go to boot camp and they kind of break your spirit out of you, and like you follow orders, and you know, that's why it's sometimes hard coming out of you know, being a soldier and coming back to civilian life, and it's like no one's telling you what to do, and you're like, I gotta figure this out on my own, and or you get screwed over because they told you something that was right and you find out that it wasn't, and you're like super pissed off that you dedicate your life to that. I don't know.
That's tough.
It's you know, it's tricky. It's very.
This was like a weird scene, and then it ends even weirder.
Like, I didn't like. You could have them. You could cut out the whole sex montage, and then her say, "What do you want to do now?" And then go to that.
Yes.
But if you're gonna do the montage, it has to be sexual with the fighting, and nothing about this demon screams sexual at all.
But Buffy does do a job of not damaging the arm, so she followed the orders. She just is like kicking it in the face and everything. Yeah, she's being very careful not to attack the arms.
Yeah,
she wants to play ball for a little bit. It seems like.
Sure, this thing's got like those blades that come out of the arm is so like funny.
Yeah.
They were much longer on the drawing. On the drawing, they were like all the way down to the ground. These were like maybe like 4 feet, like 3 feet, maybe.
Yeah. But anyway, so now we're at Giles's place, and Giles is making tea, and Xander's trying to sell him the energy bar, and Giles is like, I don't really like these energy bars. They're processed, they're nasty. And Xander's like, give these Boost energy bars a try. Here, try this flavor. I forget which one.
One flavor was like disgusting sounding. I didn't write it down, but man, it was like, why did they even make that?
Yeah. So Xander's like, please, just buy one, please. My business is doing terribly. Anya's like, please, Giles, give him money so he can buy me nice things. And Giles, that played to his heart for some reason. Yeah. He's like, all right, I'll buy one. He buys one, he opens it up, and he takes a bite of it, and he's just disgusted. He's like, get out of my house now.
He's so angry. Giles is great in this scene. This is like Giles's like pinnacle.
Yeah, I love Giles in this scene because after he's kicking Xander and Anya out, there's a big bang at the door. It's like, please open up. Giles opens up, and it's Spike, and he's covered in a tarp, and he runs in and is like, oh my God, I need your help. You guys, I got shot with something. Those commando guys, they shot me with something. And Giles is like, I thought that you didn't want anything to do with us. I thought that you said we're not your friends. And Xander and Anya are like, are you fucking kidding me? We housed you for forever. You said we're not your friends? Get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. And Spike's like, look, okay, but this is what you guys do. You're the good guys. You're supposed to help people in need. I'm in need. I need your help, so help me. Mm-hmm. And Giles crosses his arms and he goes, why should I help you? And Spike's like, because it's what you do. Because, you know. And Giles is like, hey, remember last episode when you helped me? And Spike's like, yeah, see, I helped you. And Giles is like, did you just do that out of the evilness of your heart? And Spike's like, no, I did it for something else. And Giles is like, that's right, you did do it for something else. So again, I ask, why should I help you? And Spike's like, oh, you son of a bitch. All right, I'll give you your fucking money back, you bastard. I bought some groceries with it. So here's what's left. And he gives Giles his money back.
Yeah.
And Giles is like, all right, I'll help you.
I love that. That was so good.
That was such a great callback, dude. Yeah. And Giles just being like, why the fuck should I help you?
Yeah.
It was so good.
Like, I do love, it's two things I love. I love when Buffy is pissed off, and I love when Giles is like when Giles is like passive aggressive, you know, like this, like, oh, like that look he gave when he was like, oh, I'm not your friend when he left the crypt. And I was like, oh, now it's my time to get some a little payback.
Yep. I loved it. Loved everything about it.
He's like, I put some blood and some other stuff. Like, I just love the blood buying transaction. Oh, and this is what I'm going to say. And I was going to say this in the Angel episode, but in this, there's enough blood to go around for these vampires. The world is full of blood. There's plenty of blood. You don't have to kill people.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as tasty, I guess.
Not as tasty. And you're still evil. But there's plenty of blood to go around.
Yeah. So now we go back to Buffy, and she wakes up, and she's like, oh, God. I remember the last couple of times that I've had sex with somebody, I turned around, and they weren't there anymore. When I had sex with Angel, he was gone, and he had turned evil. When I had sex with Parker, he went up. I mean, he did go to get me coffee.
I think he got 2 coffees for himself, for sure.
But he did come back, but he wasn't there. So she whips around, and Riley is such a fucking little puppy dog in this scene. She turns around, and Riley's like, hey, looking for me? I'm still here. What are you doing? What's up? Good morning. You thought that I'd be gone? I'm not gone. I'm here. I'm here for you, Buffy. And Buffy's like, wow, this is shocking. This is weird. The guy didn't leave. And Riley's alarm goes off, and it's just some kind of like vitamin alarm.
I thought this vitamin thing was going to be like a brainwashing pill or something.
So did I.
It has to be something, right? Or is it
it's
just
got to
like,
come in later.
I don't think it will. I think it's just literally like, you're regimented. You follow orders. I think it's just doubling down on that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't.
But
it seems too big for that.
Yeah. But we get some Riley backstory. She's like, wow, you really don't question anything. You're really regimented. And he's like, that's kind of what you do in the military. You know, I was in Iowa. I joined the military. They plucked me out of special ops to do this. And Buffy was like, did you ask any questions about like what this was? And he was like, no, idiot. I just follow orders. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And then Buffy's like, but with the initiative, aren't you at all curious about like what the bigger objective is? And Riley's like, nope.
Nope, we're doing good. We're stopping demons. It's cool.
And then Buffy's like, but you don't ask any questions at all. And he's like, nope. And she goes, well, that's not my style. I kind of ask questions. And Riley's like, and I like that about you. And then Buffy goes, hey, Riley, what's 314? And then Riley looks like, you know about 314?
Yeah.
He gets spooked. And then he gets a phone call. And he's like, oh, gotta go. And Buffy's like, you're just going? And he's like, yep. And she's like, wow, you really do just follow orders. He's like, yes, I do. See ya.
And we don't go to school anymore, by the way. There's no time for her to prepare for classes and to grade papers at all. They just forgot about college.
They dropped that whole TA storyline completely.
Yeah. So you were in the military, and they told you to come and pretend to be a TA at school.
Yeah, Buffy should ask that question.
Yeah. So how long is the TA thing gonna last?
So now we have Riley at the initiative base, and he's walking around, and he sees like the secret thing that Maggie Walsh is always walking into, and he walks over to it, and he looks through the little door window, and he sees 314, and he's like, huh, yeah, that is... I am a little curious about what goes on in there now that Buffy brought it up.
I don't think for myself ever, but...
Yeah. And then so as he's looking in, Maggie Walsh is like, Riley, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just, looking in there. Don't worry about it. And Maggie Walsh is like, hey, I got a mission for you. You got to go find specimen 17 or whatever. We hit him with a tracker. So we're all hands on deck on finding specimen 17. And I was like, all right, cool. I'll go do that. And then he's walking away, and Maggie Walsh is like, and Riley, make me proud. And Riley looks at her like, the fuck was that about? He's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was a brainwashing trigger code too.
Like a Manchurian candidate thing.
Yeah. But I'm like, there's these moments where I'm like, that moment was so big.
Yeah, that's the first moment where I was like, is this his mom?
Yeah.
But he just kind of walks off. He's like, all right, see ya.
Yeah, like that would be really convenient for her to like be his mom. He doesn't know it. She left and started this thing. He somehow ended up in the military, and then she got him.
Yeah.
Like very convenient.
Oh.
I mean, I don't even know if it matters. I don't know. Yeah.
So then Maggie Walsh goes into her secret base and she goes into room 314 and she's with the scientist and she's like, I knew it. I knew this fucking Buffy thing was going to backfire. It's already backfired. She knows about this room. She knows about 314. She's a threat. And the scientist is like, I know. I fucking told you this was a bad idea.
It's been a day. It's been a day.
I know. And so they're like, all right, well, we've got to move to our contingency plan. We got to take her out, basically. And I was like, it's this so fast?
Yeah.
And this is where things start to ramp up really quickly that I feel like they could have spaced out over the course of a few episodes.
Yeah. Even like few episodes later or a few episodes before this. Like she could have joined.
Yeah.
Instead of having an episode where, I don't know if we should date. I don't know. That could have just skipped over and just been like, here's the initiative. Let's go.
Yeah.
And see it. She could walk around. They could try to recruit her. I would love to see like what is it when the frats do it? What is that called?
Oh, like Rush Week.
Yeah. If they tried to like get her in there and like she meets up with the initiative guys and like maybe Xander hangs out with them and he's like, oh, well, my military guy training. Like, remember, I think I predicted that he would somehow join up with them with this military guy stuff, but that's not going to happen. But like, he could have broed out with them. Like, he doesn't interact with them at all. I don't know.
So they're already like, we gotta fucking take this chick out. We gotta move to our plan B. So that's in order. And also Adam now has the monster arm that they retrieved from the demon, the Polgara demon.
What dumbness are they making?
Yeah, you know what's funny is like you get a good look at like the whole body, and it's funny all this mishmash of like monstrosities, and then he's got on like little boots.
Yeah, like it's just it's like a guy with a weird face, and now he has the arms of a monster that Buffy took down easily.
But like, why does he need to have like a sewn together weird like half green face?
Yeah, it's like, why is his face just one head?
I don't understand that. Anyway, so now we go back to Giles's place, and Spike is getting the tracker dug out of him. Xander brings up his military guy training because they're like, well, it's too deep to be a tranquilizer. It's not a bullet. And Xander's looking, he's like, well, it's flashing. And from my pseudo military guy memories from when I was military guy, that looks like a tracker. And that means that people are on their way to try and find us, and they're trying to locate Spike. And they're like, well, great.
I mean, it's been a whole night. I know he's been giving them the runaround, but my gosh.
Right? How ineffective are they at tracking this guy? They have a tracker and they can't track him.
Triangulate.
Yeah. So then Buffy goes to her dorm and Willow isn't there. And she's like, okay, that's weird. Anyway, I'm going to get changed. She drops her bag. Willow shows up right after Buffy shows up. And Buffy looks at Willow and she's like, you were out all night, weren't you? And Willow's like, yeah. Looks like you were out all night too, huh? And Buffy's like, yes, I was. And then she gets another pager beep and she's like, all right, gotta go. I was like, okay.
And I was like, fine, I don't want this scene. I'm ready to leave this scene too.
Yeah. So Buffy leaves and the phone rings and it's Giles calling Willow. Giles needs Willow's help. And Willow's like, awesome. Got the gang back together. I feel useful. This is nice. So Professor Walsh then Buffy goes to the Initiative hangout, and she's giving Buffy a Class 3 assignment. It's not a threat. It's nothing crazy, but they have this tracker on something, and usually it's raccoons, but because it's just Buffy's so powerful and they don't think that there's any kind of threat, they're not going to give Buffy any backup. It's just Buffy doing an exploratory mission. But here, take this gigantic bazooka-looking weapon just in case.
Take this gun you have no training with.
Yeah. And Buffy's like, hey, I have a couple of questions that I want to ask you about the Initiative and about all of this. And Professor Walsh is like, okay, you know what? After you take care of this mission, after you figure out what's going on in the sewers, we'll have a nice talk afterwards. And Buffy's like, all right. And sends Buffy on her merry little way.
And I was like, hey, Buffy, maybe have this talk before you sign up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So then we go back to Giles's place, and Willow's doing a spell on Spike to like kind of fuck up the tracker's abilities. It's gonna iodize the air or something.
It just seems like with witchcraft and her ability to float a pencil, she could have just floated the tracker out of him.
Yeah. I mean, and they're also like digging in Spike. Like, just take it out.
Just rip him open. He's a vampire.
Yeah. Like, we've seen them get shot multiple times.
Yes.
And just be fine. Like, and Spike's like, ow, 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 this hurts. It's like, why are you... They're like giving him a bunch of alcohol to get drunk. It's like, he got shot with like 9 arrows 3 episodes ago. And he was like, ow, this sucks.
Yeah.
But doing this like tiny bit of surgery is too much for him.
Give him something to bite down onto.
Yeah.
And then just like, just go in there with some pliers and pull it right out.
Yeah. But so then all of their hair sticks up. They're like, is the spell working? And all their hair is standing up.
It's
like,
funny.
I think so. So now the Commandos who are trying to track Spike with their tracker, they're like, they got one of those like little walkie-talkie beep boop boop devices.
Donkey Kong?
Yeah, that makes no sense how they work. Like, I never understand how those things work. Maybe because I'm not a military guy, but they're like, oh, well, it was just here, but now it's this tracker is scrambled.
They're like, all right, let's get it out, civvies. Yeah. Because they're like leaving the woods. I don't know. Do they keep a bag of regular clothes with them?
I guess they do. They have to have it like in a backpack with them at all times. But they were tracking Spike, and now they're lost. So then we go to Buffy, who's in the sewers to hunt this demon. She's got on the comm cam with Professor Walsh monitoring the situation. And
in the open, mind you.
Yeah.
She's watching this. It's not closed. It's not after hours at military. People are walking around in the background.
Mm-hmm.
They can everybody can see these TVs.
She's just got a cup of coffee, sipping on a glass of coffee, mug of coffee.
A glass of coffee sounds weird, doesn't it?
It does sound really weird.
Yeah.
But Buffy's walking around with her little bazooka, and she turns a corner, and she's like, all right, Professor Walsh, I've got a visual on the demon, and it's definitely not a raccoon. And then the demon emerges from the darkness, and it's 2 demons, and they have these gigantic axes. And Buffy looks at them and she recognizes them from the pit earlier on. And she's like, wait a fucking minute. Yeah. This is not... I've been set up.
Yeah. I like that she figured this out.
Yeah.
And I like the little flash because I completely would have forgotten about those.
Yeah, they kind of don't look the same, to be honest.
They look similar.
I feel like when they were in the pit, they
had
were
jackets.
Green.
Yeah, but
they
like
had jackets and
lighting.
axes, and they look black and like oily.
They got the chin tentacles, so that's fine.
So Buffy's like, okay, this is a little weird. She tries to shoot him with the weapon, and the weapon doesn't work. And so Buffy's like, oh, okay. I see what the fuck is going on here. You gave me a malfunctioning weapon. All right, well, guess we're going to have to go old school.
Yeah. Like, if I'm Buffy, I'm like not even afraid. Like,
yeah. So she starts fighting the demons, and she's kicking them, and it's 2-on-1, so it's a little tough. Yeah. So eventually the comm cam falls off, and it's like Maggie Walsh is watching it, and it's presumed that Buffy is dead because the comm cam fell off and the heart rate monitor has gone down to 0. Yeah. And so Maggie Walsh is like drinking her coffee, and then she like looks around her shoulders like, is anybody fucking seeing this? Okay, well, Buffy's dead.
You have a secret room that you're doing secret experiments, but the TV is right in the middle.
Yeah.
Like just move it somewhere else.
And it looks like it's on wheels too, like an old school like TV.
Well, it's got like 20 monitors on it.
Yeah, and all of them are monitoring Buffy at this point. But yeah, so Buffy is presumed dead, and Maggie Walsh is like, all right, mission accomplished. So then we go back to the Commandos on patrol in their civvies, and Giles takes the tracker out of Spike eventually, and the spell has stopped working for some reason. And they're like, here, take it, Xander, do something with it. Xander grabs it, runs out in the other room, flushes it down the toilet, and it completely fools all of the military guys because they're like, it's coming right at us. It's coming right at us. And they're all standing in the street like, where? Looking back and forth. So it's in front of us. It's like 2 feet in front of us. He's like, I don't see anything.
Yeah, you know what? There are invisible demons. I don't know what their abilities would handle. Yep. They know this is just a vampire, though. Yeah. So then they look down, and it's in the sewer. And Riley's like, they flushed it. It's in the sewer. The tracker isn't worth anything at this point. Damn it. I liked that Riley figured that out. Yeah. It gave him a little bit of... Because I wouldn't have thought, oh, they flushed it, and now we're going down the sewer. I wouldn't have thought Xander was clever enough to flush it down the toilet. When they were like, here, do something with the Xander, and he just starts running, I thought he was just going to be running through the neighborhood. I did too. I was like, where is Xander running past? Yeah. I thought we were going to get a scene of like Riley like, Xander? Yeah. I thought he was going to be like, wait, is the address at Giles's house the place I've been to? Yeah. Like several times. Yeah, like he's in Giles's neighborhood. Yeah, I thought that he was going to be like, Giles? What the fuck? Like, Riley's so dumb, but so smart. He's like, oh, they flushed it. Obviously, that's just it going down the sewer system. I would have thought that he was in the sewer as opposed to they flushed it. Yeah, I mean, they literally just sent Buffy on a mission to fight a demon in the sewers. They know the vampires go around in the sewers. Yeah. But I would have been like, hey, let's go into the sewer. I think Riley was like, I don't want to go in the sewer. They flushed it. He's like, they flushed it. He's like, I'm not getting my civvies dirty. Yeah. These are my good Skechers. Yeah. So then we go back to Buffy, and she's still kicking demon ass. She uses the one to stab the other one with one of its axes, and then she sees that the alive one is standing in like a puddle of water, so she takes the malfunctioning like taser gun and just throws it into the water and electrocutes him, and that kills that one. And I was like, really clever kill. Really convenient, really clever. Except that it didn't... How come it didn't tase you when you were holding on to the guy earlier in the episode? Oh, yeah. So then we go back to Riley, and Riley arrives back at the initiative base, and he's like, hey, sorry, we lost Specimen 17. He somehow got the tracker out and flushed it down the toilet. I didn't make you proud, Mama. Yeah. And then so Maggie Walsh is like, hey, never mind all that. Guess what? Your girlfriend's dead. And Riley's like, what? And Maggie Walsh is like, yeah, we got a call. We got an assignment, and we saw something. And Buffy saw it, and she was like too headstrong. She didn't want backup because she's like, oh, I'm the Slayer. I'm so tough. I'm going to prove it to you. I don't need this backup. So she went alone. She insisted, and I allowed her to go do it. I did give her a gun, but apparently the gun didn't work. And anyway, she went to go fight demons, and now she's dead. And Riley's like, what are you saying? I don't get it. And she's like, I'm fucking telling you, dude, she's dead. And, she was a good girl, but, this is what happens when you date girls, Riley. They end up dead. And then in the background, in that gigantic, 20 monitor setup, Buffy picks up the comm cam, and she's just staring into it, and Riley notices it in the background, and he's like, wait a minute. And Riley is looking at it, and Professor Walsh is like, yeah, she's dead. What are you looking at anyway? She turns around, and she sees Buffy in the monitor, and Buffy goes, so that definitely wasn't a raccoon, Professor Walsh. Those were the demons that you were experimenting on in the pit earlier, and you sent me down here to fight them with a malfunctioning weapon, and if you're trying to kill me, you're going to have to do a lot better than that. And then she smashes the comm cam, or she throws it on the ground. I wrote down the exact quote because this is my favorite version of Buffy. Vengeful, angry Buffy is my favorite Buffy. Okay, so she says, and I quote, if you think that's enough to kill me, then you really don't know what a Slayer is. Trust me when I say you're going to find out. Yeah, dude. It was badass. So badass. I was like, all right, this is peak Buffy when you get this level. Mm-hmm. And then Professor Walsh is like quivering in her boots. Yeah. It seems like she's like, oh, fuck. She's like, I don't dress up to fight. I don't take weapons. You think this is going to work? Yeah.
And Professor Walsh turns around and looks at Riley, and Riley's like, I've been lied to this whole time. I can't trust you. He doesn't say this, but the look on his face is he's pissed. And he just,
oh my God, he should have slammed her head through the.
Yeah, dude, he walks past her, kind of gives her like the shoulder bump. And she's like, Riley, where are you going? Get back here. I order you to get back here. And she's like, Agent Finn. And then he keeps walking. She goes, Riley. And this is where I thought it was going to be like, this is his mom again.
I was so confused about their relationship, man. Because she's like so into him specifically. Like he's not just one soldier.
Him fuck, dude.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Anyway, so that whole thing. And again, I feel like this could have been a multi-episode thing.
Well, what we talk about next is where it really loses me.
Yeah. So then we go to Giles's place and Spike is like, all right, I'm all good. I'm ready to start fighting demons. And Giles is like, honestly, dude, those commando guys are after you. They're trying to track you with a tracker. You're lucky that we got it out. I think it's probably best for you to leave Sunnydale and not come back, as much as that pains me to do. And he's like, I'm saying this. I don't know why I'm telling you this, because I have your best interest at heart, I guess.
I don't know why we love you so much.
Yeah. So Buffy shows up then, and she's like, it's too late. It's not safe for any of us to be at Sunnydale. The initiative has turned on me, and none of us are safe. And they're all like, wait, what? Wait, you just joined them.
It's like we all predicted the beginning of this episode. Like Buffy leans over and she goes, do you think you can trust the initiative, Riley? And he's like, sure. 1 second later. Yeah.
So then we go to Professor Walsh, and she's with Adam, the monster Frankenstein demon. And she's like, Adam, you're my greatest creation. And if Buffy wants a fight, that's what we're going to give her. I'm going to unleash you on that bitch. And you're going to and if Riley doesn't come back, I'm going to get him back on my side somehow. I'll show him what a dumb bitch that Buffy is. And I'll get Riley back on my side. And then she like turns her back on Adam. And then she gets stabbed through the stomach. She's like, oh, and it's Adam who has stabbed her. And he's like, it's my show now.
He says, mommy.
Yeah. This felt so fast. They ramped this up so fast.
Like, I don't know if it was production and like she couldn't be on more episodes or not, and you had to kill her off. Mm-hmm. But the killing is shocking. Because I didn't expect her to die. But it's unsatisfying because I want Buffy to exact her revenge.
Yeah. Buffy is robbed of that now.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like Professor Walsh is going to be like in a wheelchair next time we see her or something. She's going to be like, yeah.
She got like stabbed through the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really like, I want to see her and Riley versus Maggie Walsh. Like, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see Dr. Engelman and Adam.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I don't care about, like, Forrest fighting, because obviously Forrest is going to fight Riley at some point, you know? Graham is going to be like, I don't know who to fight.
Yeah, he's like, guys, you guys were bros. And now you're fighting. This isn't cool.
If wish Maggie Walsh were here to tell us what to do. My bigger thing is, what happens in the school? Maggie Walsh is like a tenured teacher or something. Like, what happens? What's the explanation in class?
I don't know, man. I want to know what the lie is that they tell the Commandos about Adam killing Professor Walsh too. Like, how are they going to lie?
Oh, they're just going to say Buffy did it and send all the initiative after Buffy.
Yeah, that's true.
They'll be like, wait, but she was stabbed with the arms that you specifically told us to.
Like, never mind that. Buffy stole them and killed her with them.
Yeah, you know that girl that was like we brought in, who's a slayer, who's been fighting demons for like 4 years.
They're going to be like, remember fucking Riley's girlfriend? We all said she was bad news.
Women bad. Maggie Walsh is our boss.
But I feel like there could have been, it's like they just revealed Adam and now he killed, like, I was going to breathe a little bit.
Like, I was going to say I saw like the thumbnail for the next episode, right? Because it's like Adam's face. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know Adam was going to show up in this episode. Mm-hmm. So like now that isn't really a spoiler for next episode, seeing that Adam creature. But it's like, what?
Yeah, man.
I'm just so mad that she's not going to be able to face off against her.
Yeah. Killed by her own creation.
And I will hate it if she comes back and she's like a monster type creature too.
I bet if she does come back, she's going to learn the error of her ways. I would on Buffy's side in a wheelchair with like an eye patch. If she just had a hook for a hand.
If she just had a bandage around her like abdomen. Yeah. Like, that's all it took.
Dude, she's definitely coming back with an eye patch and a hook for a hand.
Yeah.
In a wheelchair.
Pirate themed. Yep.
Yeah. But that is the Iron Team, everybody. You got anything else to say about this one here, Vance?
Yeah, Buffy should have just been straight up mercenary for hire for the initiative. She didn't need to join them. They could have been like, hey, if we have like heavy missions, we'll contact you. Here's a pager. You don't have to come to meetings. You don't have to come to work. You're just a mercenary.
It's crazy. Dude, the arc of this episode is we're bringing Buffy into the initiative.
Yeah.
Let me give her the tour. Let me give her a visitor pass. I'm a little suspicious of Buffy, but like Riley likes her. It's totally fine.
I'm watching Riley have sex with her. Now
I'm watching Riley have sex with her. She asks one question and it's, we got to kill her. They try to kill her. They don't. Professor Walsh is revealed to be a fucking two-timing asshole. Then she's like, all right, well, then we're at war with Buffy now. I'm going to use my mega creation. Mega creation kills Professor Walsh. Like, there's so much happening in this episode.
And you're the military. Just shoot Buffy.
Yeah.
Just shoot her. Like,
take her out. You have well, we did see that Buffy took out the entire army in the first scene.
Yeah, but you can also get her to go to someplace because she trusts you. Like, you know what? Hire some mobsters. Hire some mobsters and just like, hey, yeah, let's go for a drive.
So hold on, they're gonna say that Buffy killed Professor Walsh, right? But Riley saw the whole thing happen.
Yeah, Riley's gonna be on the shit list too, though. But I guess they don't know. Like, I don't think anybody knows besides Dr. Engelman. It's just like the only person that knows that Buffy was framed is Maggie.
Yeah.
And Riley and Buffy are obviously a team.
Yeah.
And Riley hasn't... I don't think Riley can tell people that Maggie did that. I don't think they would believe him if he said it. If he told Forrest that Maggie tried to kill Buffy, I don't think he would believe it.
I think that he would.
No, he hates Buffy already. He hates Buffy already. Forrest already hates
you're
Buffy.
right. Forrest will be like, oh, I knew you were going to side with that bitch or whatever. And then that's how they're going to fight.
It's no way that they would side with Buffy over like their military mom.
But no, I'm thinking they're going to side with Riley.
No.
Riley's going to have to do
Riley,
some like...
Riley is a rank above them, but Maggie is a rank above all of them. So they would side with her.
I think that Riley's going to have to do some reconnaissance and like find files where they talk about like contingency plans or something.
I hope Spike asked the question. I wish we never really get the answer of like how the neutering of vampires chip works.
Yeah.
And that should be question number 1.
Yeah, they should get Dr. Engelman to like make a bullet with that and just like you can shoot it into vampires.
Or just like have Giles interview Engelman for like 20 hours to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Except that we see that it doesn't work because Spike beat the shit out of those military guys.
But he hasn't. But he's not biting people.
Fair. Yeah. Next episode is titled "Goodbye, Iowa." Is this Riley stepping out on his own, making his own decisions in life? I guess. having to not be following orders for once in his life.
I know they showed Adam, but I want just a flashback Riley episode in Iowa. No Buffy. No Buffy, no Scooby Gang, just Riley in Iowa and how we became part of the initiative.
That would be really funny.
That's my prediction. And then somehow he is Adam.
Like the vitamins is like draining his life force and putting it into Adam to be the perfect soldier.
They got to be something. There's got to be something. What do you think?
I think this is about Riley not knowing where to go with his life and having to make decisions for himself, and Buffy trying to teach him how to make decisions for himself. And like,
oh, she is going to teach him.
Yeah. And you're going to teach me.
A good point is like, what does he do now? Like the military has just like turned on him.
And he's not a TA because his professor's dead.
I would love if he quit the initiative but stole us to the TA job.
But what about my students? Oh God.
Willow's gonna be so pissed.
Yeah.
Like what does he do with his life now? He's gonna start selling boost bars with Xander.
But that is it for the IN team, everybody. Thanks for listening. Join our Discord, join our Patreon, where we do Boys Watching Angel, where we do Boys Watching Movies, and we're going to be uploading the Craft review with Johnny Walsh pretty soon. Follow the Instagram at Boys Watching Buffy. You want to email in boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. Rate and review on Apple Podcasts, or do the Spotify screenshot thing. Send it to my DMs at Joe Welke. If you want to get a shout out. And yeah, that wraps it up. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned next time for when we talk about Goodbye, Iowa.
Well, I think you better get used to a Twinkie. That's his lunch? Oh, he is so gonna be punished.
Everyone's getting spanked but me.
Tune into the Salsa Kings Network. Crack one open if you dare, creeps.